This is a stimulus update and daily news report. No baby in my arms today, so we're going to get right to the point and save you some time. We're going to talk about the latest with infrastructure, student loan forgiveness and extension, new stimulus checks going out, eviction extension, and a few other important topics along the way. But first, Indiana University students sue over coronavirus vaccine mandate. So in Indiana University, they said their 100,000 students and staff need to get vaccinated if they want to go back to school in the fall. If they don't get vaccinated, they can't go back to school. Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. Is it okay for schools to mandate vaccines? Should students and the staff still have a choice? Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments below. I mentioned in yesterday's video how a Houston hospital fired 150 workers because they did not want to get the vaccine and therefore they got fired. Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. So, cutting off unemployment benefits early is not pushing people to find work according to data. So far, there's been 12 states that have canceled the unemployment federal $300 per week boost early before the September 6th expiration date, and those states have not seen an increase in searches for jobs. So it's saying that job searches are about 4% below the national average in Alaska, Iowa, Mississippi, Missouri. They canceled their benefits on June 12th, and then for the other 8 states that canceled on June 19th, activity is 1% lower in those 8 states. So they're going to see over the next few weeks if this canceling the unemployment benefits early actually benefited the economy. I'll keep you updated on that. And also, weekly jobless claims report just came out 5 minutes before filming this video. First-time filings total 411,000 of the week of June 19th, which is a slight decrease from the 418,000 last week, but it's worse than the 380,000 expected estimate. So jobless claims are still coming in, still not to pre-pandemic levels yet. Next, let's talk about what's going on with infrastructure. Going to keep this one short. It gets right to the point here. So it says, U.S. senators reach deal on infrastructure framework. Will brief Biden. So basically what it's saying here, this is according to Joe Manchin, which is a Senate Democrat, which is more in the center, a centrist. He says, we came to an agreement on a plan that we have, and we're just going to try to wrap it up tomorrow. He said this yesterday, Wednesday, saying they're going to wrap it up today on Thursday. And the White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said, the group made progress towards an outline of a potential agreement, and the president has invited the group to come to the White House tomorrow to discuss in person. So there are a lot of headlines saying that they reached an agreement, there is a deal, a bipartisan agreement, but look at this sentence right here. It says, the group made progress towards an outline of a potential agreement. Something about those words, progress towards an outline of a potential agreement, it just sounds like political speak 101, where you're just not really saying what's going on. We don't know the deal. We don't know how they're going to pay for it, what's actually happening. So they're going to meet with President Biden today to talk with, President Biden's going to talk with the senators in the White House. I guess they're going to discuss some more details about it. But still, personally, I am skeptical about this bipartisan agreement. We still don't know how they're going to pay for it. Here is Senator John Thune talking about the progress with infrastructure.
Please, Senator, I want to ask you about infrastructure. Is it your sense that you're close to some kind of an agreement on that and how to pay for it?
Well, I think we are close, and I think this is an issue on which there is room for bipartisan agreement. This is an issue that should be bipartisan. The complicated part is the pay-fors, and the details do matter. I think there's a structure out there that a number of Republicans and Democrats have endorsed. Directionally, I think it's moving in the right direction, but filling in the details is going to be important to all this, and being able to work with the White House. Ultimately, it's got to be something that the president would be willing to sign into law, but I'm all for putting together a package that could attract a big vote in the Senate and in the House, get signed into law by the president. I think infrastructure is something the American people do expect us to be working on.
To be honest, that update meant absolutely nothing. As usual, saying that they're close on an agreement, but still no way to pay for it. That's the number one issue. How are they going to pay for it? So Basically, the rest of that sentence was just a bunch of political jargon which meant absolutely nothing and gave us no new information. If you're tired of hearing the same thing over and over from these politicians, you're not the only one. I'm getting really tired of it as well. I just want some action. So on the second track towards reconciliation, Senate Democrats weigh $6 trillion infrastructure bill without the GOP. So this is the Democrats' plan to pass the reconciliation without any Republican support, and they could do this as long as all Democrats are on board with this. Now, $6 trillion seems like a lot. It was only $4 trillion between the Democrats' infrastructure bill, which was the American Jobs Plan, and American Families Plan, which leaves an additional $2 trillion of mystery money. We don't know how that money is going to be spent. A lot of rumors are saying that it could be for a fourth stimulus check. So in terms of fourth stimulus check, two plans are at place here. So we have one in the Senate, which is going to give $2,000 monthly checks, and then we have one in the House, which is represented by Rashida Tlaib and Pramila Jayapal, which is going to give $2,000 per month until the pandemic is over, and then an additional $1,000 per month for an entire year. $2 trillion is a lot of money. Some are saying it could be a fourth stimulus check. We don't know if it's going to be a one-time payment or these recurring payments, if it's going to be targeted. We'll find out what happens at the end of the infrastructure dilemma, whether it's going to be a bipartisan deal or it's going to go through reconciliation. If it does go through reconciliation, there's going to be a lot more of these proposals that I've been talking about, including increase in Social Security, $15,000 home buyer credit, student loan forgiveness, fourth stimulus check. Those are all potentials that could be in the reconciliation bill. Speaking of stimulus checks, so even though there is no fourth stimulus check yet, New Jersey's $500 tax rebates are coming. So basically, to qualify for this, if you live in New Jersey, you have to be, it's for married couples who have an income below $150,000 and have at least one child dependent, or $75,000 for individuals with at least one child dependent, and you get a $500 check. Basically a stimulus check there. Next, let's talk about the national eviction ban will likely be extended through July, what that means for renters. So this is not confirmed yet. The eviction moratorium is set to expire at the end of June. Some sources have said that it could be extended for one additional month through the end of July. That has not been confirmed yet. I don't want to put out any false information. I'm just reading the headlines and I want to tell you the truth. It's saying here that more than 10 million Americans remain behind on their rent. So this could be a potential 10 million people evicted if the eviction moratorium isn't extended. I'll keep you updated on that. I know this means a lot. It's very important to a lot of you. So next, Democrats call on Biden to extend the pause on student loan payments. So the federal student loan pause on payments is set to expire September 30th. These are all the, so basically there's no federal payments due and there's no federal loan interest that's accruing during this time. So no checks, no payments have to be made, and they're saying that they want to extend it for another 6 months from the September deadline. So also when it comes to student loan forgiveness, more than half Americans want all student loan debt forgiven. So a new poll just came out saying that the majority want, or it's roughly 52% of 3,600 adults surveyed, agreed that a blanket student loan forgiveness for every borrower. Let me know down in the comments below. Do you think student loan should be forgiven? All of it? Should it be 50,000, 10,000? Also, I forgot to ask, do you think that the student loan pause should be extended as well? Let me know your thoughts on that. Next, let's talk about the child tax credit. So IRS opens child tax credit portal, how to check if you're getting a $300 monthly payment. So I went over this in more detail in yesterday's video, how to go through the portal, how to see if you're eligible, and how to opt out. So that's the newest updates to the portal. You can see if you're eligible for the monthly check, and you could see if, or you could also do the option if you want to opt out of the monthly checks and you just get it as a one lump sum in the tax season of 2022, so January of 2022. That's basically the new updates for the child tax credit portal. More updates are coming along the way where you could give new information. You could see when the payments are coming. That's going to come out over the next few weeks. Next, Democrats eye major expansion as part of major Medicare expansion as part of $6 trillion reconciliation bill. So the reconciliation bill of $6 trillion, they're probably going to try to Sorry about that. Try to include the Medicare expansion. What this is going to include is dental, vision, and hearing, as well as lower the age. So Bernie Sanders tweeted this yesterday saying, Medicare must negotiate drug prices and we must substantially lower drug prices for all Americans through the budget reconciliation process. And then he had another tweet here saying, no, there's absolutely no way Biogen should be allowed to charge patients $56,000 for the new Alzheimer's drug, costing Medicare up to $29 billion a year. We must take on the greed of the pharmaceutical industry. So basically, as part of the reconciliation process, Bernie Sanders is head of the budget chair, is the chair of the budget committee, and he would be in charge of what goes in the bill for the reconciliation process. One of them would be Medicare and lower the drug prices. Here's another Bernie Sanders video talking about how to tax the wealth and use that money for more social causes.
$0 in federal tax for Bezos in 2011, 2007.
Recently leaked data revealed that in some past years, Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos and other billionaires paid $0 in federal taxes. This has Mitch McConnell up in arms.
These people whoever did this ought to be hunted down and thrown into jail.
But not because of what it reveals about our rigged tax system. He wants to go after the people who exposed the scandal.
Elon Musk paid no federal income taxes in 2018.
What I suspect McConnell is really mad about is that this data could increase pressure to increase taxes on the wealthy.
Jeff Bezos claiming a $4,000 tax credit for his children in 2011 after reporting that he had no income that year.
While millions have suffered under the pandemic, U.S. billionaires have seen their fortunes increase by more than $1 trillion.
What did you think when you read this report?
Well, I think as you can guess, Jake, I was not shocked.
Our current tax system rewards wealth, not work.
There are some very wealthy Americans. But it's important to remember, we don't tax wealth, we tax income. Income is what we tax.
President Biden wants to change that by making people who earn more than $1 million a year pay the same higher rate on their capital gains that they pay on their wages. He also wants to get rid of a loophole that allows the wealthy to avoid capital gains taxes altogether on assets they pass on to their heirs.
Multi-billionaires pay in a given year $0 in federal income tax.
We also need an annual wealth tax. Senator Bernie Sanders proposed a rate of 2% on fortunes over $50 million and 3% on fortunes over $1 billion. This could raise $3 trillion over a decade to meet urgent social needs. Unless we unrig our tax code, billionaires will just keep dodging their taxes and sticking the rest of us with the bill.
So do you think the wealthy should be taxed? Should it be either 3% or 1% of their actual wealth per year? Or because they work so hard for the money, you should leave it alone, let them keep their money? Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. Next, I'm going to answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. Jessica asks, is the child tax credit for everyone that has a child? Yes. So it's for everyone who has a child, a guardian or parent, and they claim that child on their taxes. That's the only way you could get the money, and if you make below $75,000 as an individual, $150,000 as a couple. Sam Peters says, forced vaccinations equals forced unemployment. I thought companies wanted people back to work. I guess not. So this is referring to the, in yesterday's video, how the hospital fired 150 people because they did not want to take the vaccine. I agree with you. I think it should be a choice for people to choose whether or not they want to take the vaccine or not. Janine Jacobs says, I never received my $600 California stimulus check. How do I get it? So if you file taxes, and actually there's been reports of people not filing their taxes and still getting the $600 California stimulus check, they're sending those out on a very slow basis, but they are going out over the next few weeks. Next, SB asks, is the child tax credit $3,000 per child? Yes. So the way it works out, it's $3,000 per child age 6 to 17, $3,600 age 5 and under, and you could get that as a one lump sum, or you could get that on a monthly basis starting in July 15th until January, and then you get the rest of it in a one lump sum. So if you have a kid age 6 to 17, then you would get an additional, you would get it monthly, and you would get $1,500 in January of 2022. And if you have a kid 5 and under, you would get it $300 monthly and then $1,800 in January of 2022. Anyways, that is all the stimulus news I have for you today. To hopefully brighten your day a bit, here is my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. I tell you the one thing that you should do. When you make something dirty, you have to clean it up, or ask someone to help you. Like if you made something really dirty, you have to clean it up.
If you appreciate all the time, energy, and effort that went into making this video, hit the like button down below and subscribe if you want to know the latest updates on infrastructure, stimulus packages and stimulus checks, monthly stimulus checks, all those other topics that I talk about. Subscribe if you want the latest on that. I'm trying to give it to you in a really fast format. I do hours of research every day, filtering through dozens of articles just to give you the facts that you need to know on a regular basis. If that appeals to you, like the video and subscribe. Otherwise, you could check out some of my other videos over here. This is videos on my other channel. I have 2 different channels besides this one, or you could check out the latest stimulus updates in this playlist over here. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.